What's up, guys? Got a story for you today from my Uber and Lyft driving experiences. Gonna share with you guys. This one is kind of weird, okay? This is probably the first, weird rider that I ever had. So I'll get into the story in a second. Hey, but remember, if you're gonna be driving out here in Vegas or you're already driving, my ebook is on sale now. It is available. The link in the description down below. Take you to my ebook about making money in Las Vegas with Uber and Lyft. Get some good info in there, like how to calculate your hourly rate, show some pictures of how much money I've made in the past, what streets I like to drive on, what times of day I like to drive, all that kind of good stuff in that ebook. So you can buy it, make your money back, and then make some more money with that information. So getting into this story, man, this one was interesting because it happened. I was parked outside just like a convenience store. Had been driving for several hours already, parked outside a convenience store, taking a break. And this other guy who's a driver also for Uber and Lyft, he's hanging out there. We're just kind of shooting the shit, talking. And as we're talking, this guy comes up. This is the night before Halloween, okay? So this is to help set the stage a little. The night before Halloween, I'm out driving. That's when this happened. And this guy walks by, because there's a couple bars around this place we were stopped at. And this guy walks up. He's dressed in a costume. At least I hope it was just for Halloween he was wearing this. Comes up, and I give you guys what he looked like. Probably about 6'3", white dude, pretty lean build, and he's dressed, he's clean shaven, it's short hair, but he's dressed in this camouflage outfit with a net over him with leaves and shit, and he's got the boots on, and even had this hat to go with it that had a green net that would go around it. So that was this guy's Halloween costume. Apparently his face was also painted green, black and brown and that kind of shit, the camo colors. And he comes over and he to talk to us real quickly. He was asking about taking a ride with Uber, and he said his app wasn't working. And he looks at my car. He walks up behind my car and looks underneath, he's looking for something. And me and the other driver kind of look over and what the fuck is this guy doing? And he goes, never mind. He's I don't want to ride. And he just walks away. And we're that was weird. Did he put something under your car? What the hell was he doing? And then me and the other driver are talking for a bit. He gets a ping. He takes off. So I'm hanging out over there. I finish eating. And the guy comes back, Mr. Camouflage, comes back. And he decides he wants a ride. So he's I'm okay, well, where am I taking you? He goes, no, he's not going that far. Not going that far. I'm all right, whatever. So he was being kind of weird. He kept asking about the police. He was you're not a cop, are you? He asked me. I'm no, not a cop. Not to my knowledge, I'm not. And he mentioned again before he even got in the car, he even pinged me. He's you sure you don't work for the police? I'm I'm pretty sure. And so he's a little paranoid to begin with. He pings it. The name comes up, and it was this goofy freaking name. There's no way this is this guy's real name. It was Fluffy or some stupid shit like that. And I was this your name? He's well, you can call me Mike. I'm okay, well, get in the car. He puts in the address. It's actually on the other side of the, kind of on the other side of the metro area, which was fine. It wasn't too bad to get there. And, you get paid for the whole trip. So get in the car, and we're starting to drive. And I'd ask him questions you're local, you're from out of state. He's and every time I asked him a question, he would try to defer it. And he'd be you seem to want to know a lot of information. He's you sure you're not a cop? And I was yeah, dude. He kept worrying about the fucking police. And then he had his phone with him, and he wanted to plug it into my to my car. I was do you have an auxiliary wire? And I was no. He's man, you don't have a wire? I was well, I said, other than the one I'm wearing. I said, bad fucking joke to make, because the guy looks at me, and he actually puts his hand on my fucking chest. He's feeling. I was okay, just chill the fuck out. I was this is fucking weird. I was I shouldn't have said that one. If he had touched any more, I was going to pull the fucking car over and be no, just get out, man. This ride is over. Get out. And he was fine after that. There was no more touching after that. So I had no wire for him to be playing his music. But he just turns on his techno music on his phone, has a speaker with him, tosses that in the back seat. He's you have surround sound? I was no. I was well, you do now. Throws a speaker in the back fucking seat, got the phone up here, just playing his techno music the whole time we're driving. It wound up being a 25-minute drive. And he's talking throughout the whole time over his music to me, just about weird shit. He's man, you need to get your windows tinted in your car. He's come summertime, he's it's really going to help keep your car cooler. You need to get this kind of tint here, this tint here, this tint here, and he's giving me all these directions on window tinting. And it's just like, and the way he was talking, you guys ever remember the movie from years ago, back when Adam Sandler was in his younger years, the movie Happy Gilmore, when it's his first day on tour, and the guy he's paired up with is talking about like golf being like a carousel. He's like, it's like a carousel. Like a carousel. It goes up and down and around, up and down and around. Like, that's how this guy was talking to me. Just like that. He was like, he's like, you have to cool the windows because it'll help. It'll cool off your dashboard, keep everything about 15 degrees cooler inside. So what did we learn today? Now we learned that that's how he's fucking like lecturing me on all this shit about tinting my windows. And he's telling me how to get a speaker system at Walmart, basically how to buy it, use it for a little while, and then just go ahead and return it so I can be playing like different music in my car. I mean, he was just a goofy motherfucker. I mean, then about halfway through, he puts his hat on with his little cape that goes like around his head, and I look at him like kind of did a double take. It was just the weirdest fucking trip because he kept talking the whole time, and the whole time he's playing his fucking techno music. The whole way there we're having this conversation, or he's having a conversation, talking at me, I should say. And then we get to the place where I dropped him off at this bar on the other side of town, and he was, I think he was trying to tip me. He goes, "Oh, I'm trying to leave you a tip on the app," and I was like, "Okay." And he's like, I looked at his phone and I was like, "Well, does it show that I dropped you off?" And he was like, "Don't look at my business. Don't look at this." I mean, just everything about him was just fucking awkward and weird. And ended up being harmless. Dropped the guy off. It was fine. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Text me later on the app. And if I need a ride, I'll hit you up." Which I didn't have his number because when it goes through the app, it gives you like a screen number. So I didn't have his direct number. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, I'm like, "Okay, but I don't have you." He's like, "Just text me on the app." And I'm like, "All right, I got you." Drove away. I'm like, "Fuck that." Fucking Mike, it was a goofy motherfucker. That was the first ride I had that was like weird, where the person was kind of strange and a little off, and guy wound up being fairly harmless, but it was just strange because wouldn't give a single hint of background info to where he's from or anything about him. And he's just lecturing me about tinting my windows and how to get a better stereo system from Walmart, all the whole time while talking over his fucking techno music for this 25-minute drive. It was just a strange fucking ride, but it went fine at the end of it, and then got paid for it, and I've never seen the guy again. So done with that one. Probably the weirdest one I ever had, at least I guess thus far, and still came out unscathed. So